Welcome into another episode of the Laser Bros podcast. We are your hosts, Logan and Luke Lazarchik. Super Bowl week. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. All Super Bowl. Nothing else to worry about. Just Chiefs 49ers.
Just
A few
Chiefs.
days away, just 4 days away. Luke's coming back in town on Friday. We'll be watching game together.
Hell
So
yeah.
hopefully it won't be too stressful of experience. But Luke, how are you today? I know you just got back from baseball media day at K-State.
Doing good. Yeah, baseball media day. There's 6 players and head coach, so there's a lot. But that was good. I got some stuff later today, but doing pretty good, man. I'm kind of excited. We just got it's just a Super Bowl. NBA trade deadline is tomorrow, which is fun. Probably not much will happen, but it's still fun. But it's good times. Good times. It's been a busy week, and I can't wait for it to be Friday. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to get to the weekend. I know Sunday the game doesn't start till 5:30, so all day Sunday I'll be trying to kill some time somehow.
Yeah,
But today
figure
we'll
it
be
out.
previewing the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 58. We'll be talking about keys to the game, who has the edge, and then of course leave the episode with our predictions. So let's start off with some key. Well, actually, let's talk about media day from Monday. What were your thoughts on the Super Bowl media day?
There wasn't too much. I know. Obviously, they're asking Travis about Taylor Swift, and all the basic. I saw someone ask. It was a good question. It was someone asked Travis who's gonna get a ring first, Taylor or the Niners. That was good. That was good. And then, Mahomes has to deal with the stuff about his dad, which sucks, but he handles that phenomenally. And then you could tell there's a lot of Niners because they're like booing Mahomes and.
Oh, I love it.
No,
I
yeah,
love that Chiefs are
Mahomes.
like the
I think
villains. I
Mahomes
love it.
has like the perfect it's
It's
perfect
like mindset.
person. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, I my main takeaway from media day was just the fact that it was pretty much anti-Chiefs from the fans there, and as a Chiefs fan, I absolutely love it. I love I think it's more satisfying to win when everybody's against you than when everybody's for you. It's just more satisfying. You get to shut people up, and I think the Chiefs. I think that's just another motivating factor in addition to just going back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes winning his third Super Bowl. I think just adding that is a huge factor to the game. So as I said before, we talked about the media day. We'll be talking about keys to the game, who has the edge in prediction, and we'll start off with keys to the game. I think the first major factor that's going to determine who wins this game is the 49ers running attack against the Chiefs running defense. And really, when you look at the playoffs so far, the Chiefs have had a bit of a tough time against defending the run. Miami didn't really run the ball that well against the Chiefs, but elements of the game kind of factored into that, kind of affected that. Buffalo ran all over the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and
Josh
then,
Allen was unworthy.
Yeah, and then,
not
and
unworthy. The wrong word.
Yeah, and then the Ravens basically neglected the run game and chose just to win a shootout game when it wasn't a shootout at all and act like they're down by multiple scores. 49ers, Kyle Shanahan's scheme is predicated on the run game. That opens up the rest of the offense. And they don't have a superstar quarterback. Purdy's definitely impressed me, but they definitely want to get that run game going and get the Chiefs defense, who is really good against the pass. You want to exploit the run defense. So I think that's how the game's going to start, is you're going to see the 49ers be very physical and try to run the ball with McCaffrey.
No, yeah, it'll be – I feel like watching the Chiefs, they get a lot of they didn't have Willie Gay for
the
Baltimore game. Didn't he get hurt during the Buffalo
He got hurt.
game?
I think he got hurt first play of the game.
Yeah, it was really early.
Buffalo.
It was really early. Buffalo, Josh Allen. I know James Cook, I think, had good stats too, but Josh Allen he was dominating. And then Miami was kind of – so, Willie Gay's going to be back. I think that's big. Charles Omenihu being out, he's more of a pass rusher, but that's still impactful. Because it may be Felix out there, rookie, in a lot of his first playing time, but we'll see what they do there. Probably more Mike Dana, but he may play inside, so we'll see there. But yeah, I think that, as I was saying, they get a lot of. I feel like you'll see Chenal, Bolton, or Willie Gay. They get early run stuffs, but I feel like the Chiefs have a little trouble once the running backs get past like the 5-yard mark, and they kind of let him go like always for like 12 or 15 or 17. And when it comes to Christian McCaffrey, if you let him do that, he's just going to take one to the house. So I think that's where the biggest fear is. I mean, you cannot let McCaffrey get loose because he's the best running back I've possibly ever seen. I mean, you let him loose back there or up the middle of the field. If you just have him like one-on-one with Justin Reed, I mean, you're probably in trouble. Justin Reed's good, but you don't want those situations. You need to make sure he does not break the game loose, which he did against the Packers, which was huge. You just can't let that happen. He did near the end against the Lions. Just can't let that happen.
Yeah, I think it's where this game starts off. If the Chiefs start the game on defense, I think it's going to be monumental that they can contain this run game. I think if you can get the 49ers into must passing situations and situations where they have to pass the ball, I think it's where you can kind of take advantage of, their offensive line is pretty weak outside Trent Williams. Brock Purdy may turn over the ball, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think you have to stop the running game first and foremost. And if you do that, I think the rest of it can play out pretty well for the defense. I think the 49ers, I don't know how many carries they're going to give Christian McCaffrey this game. I don't know if it's going to be the 20-plus or if it's going to be based on game script. But I think the Chiefs, if they're going to stop the run game, I'm really confident that the defense can hold this 49ers offense despite the skill position players that the 49ers have.
I mean, yeah, and the thing is, McCaffrey hasn't had like a great game per se yet. I mean, Green Bay, a lot, like, he got that big 40-yard run, but there's a lot of times he's getting stuffed. He didn't explode against the Lions either. I mean, so he hasn't been on an unholy stretch. I think that their line has sort of been beaten a little bit, but he makes the plays. But yeah, if you force Purdy's been good, but I think if you're the Chiefs, you want to win this game, you got to live or die by Purdy's performance. And he has to dictate how the offense does for the Niners. It can't be Purdy, or it can't be McCaffrey.
Yeah, and Purdy, the first half of these two playoff games he's been in, he's not been that good. He's had Packers game, drop pick 6. He threw a pick against the Lions early in the first half. I think if the Chiefs if they can stifle that run game a little bit and force Purdy to dissect the defense and beat them to the air, I'm really confident in this Chiefs defense. And I think the first couple of drives is really going to dictate this game, both offensively and defensively, both sides of the ball for the Chiefs. So I think it's going to be a really interesting game. I wonder if Chiefs win the coin toss, if they do their usual thing of deferring, or if they try to put some pressure on the 49ers and take the ball first and try to score.
That would be interesting to see who wins, what they decide to do. I feel like each team would decide to start on offense, if I had to guess.
I think the Chiefs are going to start on defense if they win the coin toss. I think that's what they've done that the whole year, and I think they're going to trust that defense to set the tone. Because if you get stopped early on and you set your offense out on the field, it actually may set more pressure for the 49ers.
I don't know. Mahomes gets a first score. I think you're like Purdy. It's like, okay, now I'm down 7-0 to Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl. That's how.
Anything else on this topic before we move on to our next topic?
No.
All right. So this topic basically pretty much correlates with the first topic we talked about, and that's Chiefs defense creating turnovers. Brock Purdy, there was some stat I saw the other day. I think it's like 23.6% of his dropbacks are turnover-worthy plays he has on during this postseason, which would be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
3.6?
I'm pretty sure I saw something like that, and that may be a
that
miss.
Seems
it was something along those lines where
near a fourth of his plays.
I think there was something. You may have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere. Well, Mahomes has had, I think, like barely any turnover-worthy plays during his postseason. He's thrown 0 interceptions. He hasn't really put the ball in danger. We've seen Brock Purdy put the ball in danger multiple times and kind of get away with it throughout these playoffs. And I think the Chiefs' defense, especially pass defense, if you're going to give them opportunities, they're going to take advantage of it. And are you trying to look for it right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find right now. That just doesn't seem right. 26.3, Logan, that's a third. I mean, during the year, his was 3.5, and that's considered pretty bad. So I don't think it was 23%. I think you have that wrong.
I may have the numbers mixed up. Hold on. But go ahead.
No, wait, I'm sorry. I got a little lost looking at.
I was saying how Brock Purdy's been, putting the ball in danger this postseason. Mahomes hasn't, and I think if Purdy continues to do that, Chiefs defense are going to take advantage of those opportunities.
No, yeah, and he's had a lot of definitely not your 23 number, definitely not, man. But he's had a lot of plays, and young guy. I mean, I feel like I saw the odds were like minus 120 something for he throws 0.5 interceptions, which I mean, I feel like that's gonna be bet on a lot. So that could be one of those where everyone bets on, and look, he throws no picks. But I mean, that's a key to the game. I mean, I think this is my biggest key. The Chiefs, if they don't get an interception, I'd be. If you told me Brock Purdy throws 0 interceptions, I'd be like, okay, the Niners probably have like a 75% chance of winning. That's how I look at it. You have to take the ball out of their hands. And I feel like they probably should be able to at least once. I feel like one is that number.
I think twice is definitely in the
Well, yeah, it's in play.
cards.
But, no, yeah. But if it's twice, then I'm probably leaning Chiefs, like 60, 70%. And then, so that's just huge. I mean, McDuffie, Snead, great corners. I mean, Lamar threw did he throw one pick and fumble once?
He threw one, but he also Nick Bolton. He's wearing the wrist. He's wearing the cast on his wrist. Nick Bolton also dropped a pick from Lamar.
No, yeah. So the Chiefs have shown the ability to do so, and maybe you don't have a Menahu, and that hurts. Like that, I feel like that's not.
Do you think
talked about
because
enough?
the Chiefs don't have Menahu, they may send more blitzers from the secondary more often? Or do you think they're just going to try to trust the secondary?
I feel like they're going to stay with what they're going to just play normally. Spags is going to do what he wants to do. Maybe the game plan is to send blitzers, and he's just going to do it. I don't think he's going to dictate it much off of that, but it does kind of suck. But Chris Jones, I think a big part of it is Chris Jones getting interior pressure. And Brock Purdy can extend plays. He can do it well. But I think you'd rather still force him to try to do it in hopes that he's going to mess up. I think that's the play. So I think Chris Jones, fully capable, one of the best interior D linemen, has to get a push up the middle. Karlaftis also gain an edge rush. That'll be huge. And it doesn't just have to be secondary. Like Nick Bolton had a pick. It could be Willie Gay. It could be Chanel. It could be anyone. So I think the Chiefs are fully capable. I'd expect them to get at least one interception. You're probably not going to force Christian McCaffrey to fumble.
No.
So it's not even really worth discussing. If you do, good for you. If you do, you better get that ball because he doesn't fumble. But I think the turnovers really could dictate this game. And then obviously what happens with the turnovers. The Chiefs, after turnovers, they have to go score. They have to at least do something. They cannot get a pick.
Well, it can't be like the Baltimore game where they get the turnover and then they don't get any points from it. I think for 49ers, I think you also create turnovers just by, getting to the quarterback as well and putting pressure on him. And I think that's easily doable. I know Charles Omenihu's out, so it makes the task a little bit tougher. But outside Trent Williams, the offensive line is not good. Like I feel
it's definitely breakable.
The offensive line, I think that's kind of understated, is how bad the offensive line is outside Trent Williams. You have probably one of the greatest left tackles of all time, but especially at right side of the offensive line, you can definitely exploit that. So I think if you play George Karlaftis over there, have Chris Jones, try to beat multiple double teams, I think the Chiefs can still get a pass rush. Omenihu being out definitely hurts, but hopefully FAU can step up and make just some sort of player contain the run on the outside.
I think that's the big thing with the Niners. Having Kittle and having Juszczyk, those two help the offensive line so much. And I think that's how they sort of compensate for that. But hopefully, maybe Kittle stays on the line more, even though he's done well these playoffs statistically. So it's not like he's been burdened. Aiden Hutchinson is way better of a pass rusher than Karlaftis on the edge. And then they face the Packers and Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith. They're better edge rushers than Karlaftis. But so that's why Chris Jones, Kenny Clark's good for the Packers. Lions have some solid pieces inside D-line, but no one has Chris Jones. So he has to, if Purdy is comfortable inside the pocket in the middle, then it's going to be an issue for the Chiefs. And so I think Chris Jones, either if he's forcing, batting the ball down, forcing fumbles, whatever, just forcing Purdy to go out, he's going to be the main cog in creating these defensive turnovers.
And I don't know if you share the same opinion, but I also think the Chiefs have a better chance of creating these turnovers if they can force Purdy to throw on the outside. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm taking away the middle of the field. I'm forcing Purdy.
I mean, that's okay. That's easier said than done. It's the Niners.
I'm not okay. That's okay. Okay. Of course, everything's easier said than done. What we're saying. Of course, everything's easier said
Well,
than
yeah,
done.
but
My
you can't
point
say
is,
the Chiefs are gonna take.
I never said they would. I'm saying if I'm the Chiefs, that's my game plan going in. Is I'm going to force the 49ers, if that's either by jamming or just playing zone defense and taking away the inside part of the field. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to force him outside. Now, I'm not saying Purdy can't make outside throws, but he's definitely much more accurate when he's throwing in between the numbers. And I think
No, yeah, he's had great throws in the middle.
Yeah, and he doesn't have like the greatest arm talent. So getting the ball to the outside can be tougher for him. So if I'm Chiefs, that's exactly what I'm going to try to do is try to force him to the outside. And of course, that's going to be a tall task because you have Ayuk, Debo, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle. There's a lot of weapons you have to take care of. So I know it's a tall task, but that's the type of game plan I would have if I were the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be tough, but he's been great throwing down the middle for the most part. He's had obviously some bad throws, but down the middle is kind of his bread and butter. I mean, you need to make sure that they don't do any reverse plays or stuff like that and kick it on the outside because that could kill you. That could kill you.
And going back to our previous topic about talking about the 49ers running offense, we have seen in the two Super Bowl blunders that Kyle Shanahan has been a part of, he does get a little pass happy. The Atlanta Patriots game, they were up by 25. Instead of running the ball, he kept throwing. With the 49ers against the Chiefs, the last time these two met, they were up by 10, and instead of running the ball, which they leaned on throughout the playoffs with Jimmy Garoppolo, they relied on Jimmy Garoppolo to win the game down the stretch, and that cost them that game. So I think there is a chance in this game that Kyle Shanahan could, fall in love with his passing game and ignore the run game. Not to the extent that the Ravens did, but I still think that could happen.
Yeah, there's chances. It's a big Kyle Shanahan moment right here. And I mean, if he does that again, it could be again his downfall.
Yeah, I agree. Last key to the game, and I think this is also super important, is the Chiefs' early offense. I believe the last 6 or 7 playoff games, the Chiefs have scored on their opening drive. I believe it's one. I may be wrong, but I believe it's one of those number 6 or 7 games. I think if they can have success like they did the last game against Baltimore and score on their first or second or first 2 possessions, I think it will put a ton of pressure on this 49ers offense and Brock Purdy.
No, that's what I was saying with the coin toss. I'd take the ball first and I'd go score. I'd go score and say we're up 7-0. I'd put it in Patrick Mahomes' hands, get the Niners scared. That's how I would go at it. Obviously, he has to do it. But yeah, the early offense is huge because you've seen, especially against the Ravens, I mean, Mahomes was fantastic that first half, and then it just all fell apart. The offense could do nothing. It was...
Well, the Ravens just took away the short passing game for the most part, which
and that's
another thing. If the 49ers don't have the secondary that the Ravens have, but they definitely can scheme up things where
they have
take away the short
great game. Niners. The Ravens have great linebackers, but so do the Niners, and that just makes it that much that short area. Fred Warner, Drew Greenlaw, just it's tough when you really can't throw deep. But early on, probably because teams are more letting the game occur, defenses, so you're able just to dink and dunk.
And the first drive is always scripted too, so it's much easier to score on drives. I think, we just talked about short passing game. I think an X factor in this game is going to be MVS. I think if he can find early success or even get shots down the field and come down with the ball, I think that could definitely set the tone for the Chiefs offense and give them a better shot of if you can prove to the 49ers that you can hit the deep ball, maybe that the short intermediate stuff starts opening up. And the run game also. I think if you get the run game going, open the intermediate parts of the field up with play action, I think if those two things together, I definitely think could open up, screen passes or just like 6-7 yard passes across the middle to Kelsey and Rice.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, for sure. Pacheco has started games off fantastically.
Oh, if you guys are betting, by the way, I think the last 3 of the last 4 games. I think the number for Pacheco's carries, like over-under on carries, is 16.5. And I believe he's hit the over 3 of the last 4 games.
I think he's also got a touchdown in the last 7. I think I saw that from a MGM thing. He's got a touchdown.
He scored a touchdown last. He scored a touchdown every playoff game.
Yeah, so I think it's last 7. It's not the last 7. It's maybe last 7 playoff games. I remember I saw that. Or he scored 7 touchdowns in the last 7 games because he had 2 in a game, but last game of the year he didn't score regular season, but he had 1.
I don't know how anybody doesn't like Pacheco, and
yeah. I don't know either. I don't know how anyone can't like Pacheco. I love Pacheco.
I do too. We used to know somebody that doesn't. So
yeah, our dad. He doesn't think he's that good.
I don't want to name drop him. I don't want to name drop him, but
it's ridiculous. He doesn't think he's that good.
I was to say a person we know, but you absolutely.
He thinks Chiefs have to go get Derrick Henry, but don't pay too much mind to that comment. It's not.
I do think Chiefs do draft a running back at some point in the draft.
Yeah, sure, because you don't want Clyde.
You just want like a 1-2 punch, I think.
That's you think Jerick McKinnon's gonna play much if he does play?
Oh, I think so. I trust Jerick McKinnon way more in pass blocking situations than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
The thing is, he hasn't played in a while, and Clyde's been a good RB2. Nothing special, but he's got the job done as an RB2.
I trust McKinnon. He's a veteran.
Yeah, he's been hurt. When's the last time he's played? It's hard to just
playing regular season.
A guy. Well, yeah, but a guy not to play for weeks on end, and then he just comes in the Super Bowl.
I think him and Clyde probably split that
maybe
third down role, but I don't think Clyde's gonna dominate.
I think Clyde gets more. I think Clyde gets more snaps than McKinnon.
I wonder what McKinnon's like anytime touchdown odds are. I wouldn't bet on him. I'm just curious if it's like plus 400 or something. That's kind of crazy.
That is
because I could definitely see in the red zone. Chiefs, near the goal line, and they kind of give the 49ers defense a little bit more to worry about because for whatever reason they don't really throw the ball to Pacheco, even though I think he's a pretty good pass catching running back. But I think McKinnon.
Didn't he get like a slant?
He didn't get the last game against Baltimore. He ran like I think it was like a curl route. He ran.
Yeah, it was a curl route. That's right.
Mahomes found him, and I believe it was like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and he got the conversion. But yeah, I think the Chiefs offensively, I think if you can get MVS going a little bit, I think if you can hit a deep shot early in the game, I think that's really going to open up things for the offense and kind of force the 49ers to respect the deep ball. So I think MVS is a potential X factor. I think Rice and Kelsey, they're going to continue doing what they're doing. They've found
if Tony plays. That's so wild. Also, there's no Jerick McKinnon odds for touchdown.
Okay, there's not. Okay.
But there's the Michael Pirine odds.
Don't touch that. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. But I think Chiefs are going to – 49ers defense has not been that good, especially these playoffs. They've been pretty much gashed.
Yeah, they have.
Jordan Love threw for over 300 yards against them.
They've closed games out. Decent. I guess the Lions did score, but they've done. If
you're 49ers, you cannot start this game out like you started last two.
In general, they've been a better second half team. Which is interesting because the Chiefs have been a first half. I know. I agree. I'm just saying that it's going to be interesting because Chiefs, I think, have been a more first half team, and the Niners have been more of a second half team. So, obviously, if you put it, I think it's going to be a close game. I see Chiefs going up early, and then Niners coming back, and then it's just final drive type of thing.
I disagree with that because the Chiefs' second half defense has been shut down. They allowed 0 points to Miami.
But this is the best offense they're facing.
No, I realize that, but also in the same. Here's the thing:
the Niners' second half offense has been great.
Please? Okay, that's fantastic. But they also have not played a defense like the Chiefs,
and the Chiefs haven't played an offense like the Niners. That's the same argument either way. It's the same argument either way, man. I don't think you say.
Here's why I don't agree with you. One, Lions and Packers defense, I don't think are that great. Chiefs. Here's the thing: if you have to throw, if you're down by double digits if you're from a 49ers perspective and you're forced to throw the ball. We just talked about it. Chiefs defense creating turnovers. That would be a prime
I know,
situation for the
but
Chiefs defense to
you're
create
acting like
turnovers
it's like
if they're
they
up
can't.
and they have to throw the ball.
But the Niners fully can do it, Logan. They have 3 elite receiving weapons, not even including their running back. It's not like the Chiefs defense has the edge over the Niners offense in the second half. If Chiefs are up 17-7, I think it's 50-50. I don't think it's
I think the first drive of the second half would if that was the case, I think the first drive of the second half would be the telling point of how that second half would go.
Man, the Niners offense looked terrible in the first half, and then they went berserk. It's because they're the Niners, and they have all this talent. I mean, I don't see if Chiefs get them down, they're not going to let them come back. That doesn't make sense to me at all.
I'm not saying 49ers are not going to come back. I just think it'd be really tough for them to do that. It's not going to be like the last 2 games. The last 2 games they've been down by. Well, they weren't down by double digits Packers, but they only managed. I think it was 6 points in the first half. And the last game they were down 24-7 at halftime. You can't afford to do that against the Chiefs.
I know, but you act like the Chiefs have been perfect. I mean, Josh Allen hits Khalil Shakir, and let's say the Chiefs still come back and win. You're not the second half defense isn't looking as great.
We can do if okay. We can also
but that was an open receiver. That was an
okay. We talk about Brock Purdy if the interception wasn't dropped. And
that's the end of the game. Second half, Josh Allen got down the field, and they missed a field goal to tie it. So the Bills' offense was still capable in the second half.
We say if and buts about a lot.
But the Bills' offense still was capable of getting down there in the second half. You act like the Chiefs have been absolutely locked down. You have to remember Miami was freezing cold. Bills still moved the ball in the second half, fine. They still moved the ball fine, and then obviously Chiefs locked down Ravens. Obviously,
yeah.
I mean they were great, but you're acting like it's like they went lockdown.
I'm not saying for sure they're going to lock down. I'm just saying this isn't the Packers Lions defense. This is not.
I know, but this
is the Chiefs have one of the
Miami top offense.
The Chiefs also have one of the top passing defenses in the league. So yeah,
and the Niners have one of the best passing offenses in the league. Logan, you're acting like the Niners are some schmoo-muck offense.
I never said that. You're putting words in my.
But you're giving the edge to Chiefs greatly when it's 50.
I'm not saying greatly, but I would give them the edge slightly, but I'm not giving them great. I'm just saying in that situation, Luke. First of all, here's the thing: you're flipping what I'm saying. I'm saying if that situation, if they're down double digits second half, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying overall I'm taking Chiefs defense.
No, and I still think
by great margins. I'm just saying if you play Ryan Chiefs defensive hands, if you are down by double digits in the second half, that's all I'm saying.
And at the same time, they could just gash them.
Yeah, I'm not saying one or the other. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I'd be very confident if the Chiefs were up comfortably in the second half that I would give them the edge. I would say
I'd give them the edge, but you're acting like it's like
if I do a 1 to 100 range, let's say 1 to 100 range, I would do 60-40 Chiefs if that was a situation.
But if you're up 10 at the end of the first half and it's 60-40, that's my whole flipping point, man. If you're up 10 and you think I have a 60% chance to win, that means that
I'm not saying chance to win. I'm saying the edge.
Okay, if your edge is 60-40
to Chiefs defense
and the other
over
team,
49ers offense,
the other team is pressured, it's still the same thing, Logan. If it's 60-40 and you're up 10 at the first half, defense, offense, that still means that offense can gash you because you should have an 80-20 advantage.
You're acting like I'm saying there's no possibility. I'm just saying I would give the edge.
I think you're overplaying the edge, in my opinion. There is no great thing. The Niners are so good on offense. There's no great difference.
Okay, I saw him score 6 points the first half against Packers.
And then, it's the first playoff game they had a bye. And then, do you know what? The second half they went nuts each game, Logan. It's my whole point, man. My whole flipping point. You literally just made my point for me. Thank you. Good job.
Before we move on, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm also saying the Packers and Lions defense is not as good as the Chiefs. That's my point.
The Packers have plenty. Okay, yes, they're not as good. And again, Logan, I just said this. The Ravens, Dolphins, Bills are not as good offenses as the Niners. You're making my points for me. I should just sit here and be quiet.
I should just say you chose Baltimore and Bills both to win, and you said Miami had a chance against the Chiefs. That's all I'm going to say. So that's my point.
If they ran the ball, no, because if they ran the ball, they would have. Bills, Logan, don't act like that was a 50-51. I mean,
yeah, but Ravens, you didn't think the Chiefs' offense was going to drop 27. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, no, I didn't. Okay, I was wrong. Congratulations. Doesn't mean that The process
You're
of
talking
how
about
I viewed it.
hypotheticals of Miami being the
The
Chiefs first round. You're talking
process,
about
the process of how I viewed it was not wrong. My hypothetical was if the Dolphins beat the Chiefs, they have a good shot at the Super Bowl
that's just ridiculous.
because of how they
hypothetical.
would
Wasn't even
have
close.
to beat, because of how they would have to have beaten the Chiefs would have a new aspect to the Miami offense. That's what I was talking about. I was fully confident Chiefs were beating Miami. Don't get on that. It's about the if Miami won, what they look like. Don't try that on me. You try to sneak that past me. I didn't allow it. Just like usual.
Well, no, I was gonna let you talk and rebuttal it, but yeah, that's why.
Yeah, but you try to sneak a point in. But I remembered how I viewed that. If Miami would have won, that means it would have ran the ball a lot and would have made them a good Super Bowl contender because they would have won a game that they shouldn't win. Nice try. Nice try. Can't.
Let's
can't,
move.
Can't
Let's
outsmart me
move
here.
on to who has the edge. I'm right, but we'll move on. So who has the edge? I think quarterback. We don't really have to discuss that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's
Patrick
pretty clear
Mahomes.
that Patrick Mahomes. Coaching. I mean, I'm interested in what you have here. Who do you think? Just overall, not head coach, but overall.
No, yeah, I know.
coaching scheme.
And I think this is also easy. It's the Chiefs. And because you can go 50-50 on Reed and Shanahan, but like 51-49 Reed, because, Reed, he's won 2 Super Bowls. Shanahan has lost 2 Super Bowls. But Spags, he's the reason. I mean, that dude's one of the best defensive coordinators.
Is he the best defense coordinator in the league?
I mean, some of the best ones have been hired elsewhere.
I know, but he's done this with multiple defenses with multiple teams.
I don't know if I'd call him the best because there's moments for the Chiefs defense in general throughout his years with great talent. Where you're just looking at them and you're just like, what's going on? But his peaks are amongst the best. I'll say that. His peaks are amongst the best.
Well, I also think because this defense is super young. I mean, there's a lot of second years, third years on his defense. He's been able to
he's aggressive, and I think that's even better when you have youngsters. He is an aggressive play caller. I love it. You don't have to be the best defensive coordinator, and I don't think he is the best, but he's definitely like top 5. But
I'll say top 3.
I'd have to really look at it. I mean, I don't go around ranking defensive coordinators. I mean, then you put defensive coaches. I mean, because if Bill Belichick was still a coach, and let's say he was a defensive coordinator, I'd say Bill Belichick's number 1 because he's Bill Belichick. But Spags I think he's perfect defense coordinator for the Chiefs, and he'll probably never be a head coach.
I think it's not that good of a. That's what's great. That's what's awesome for the Chiefs. Steve Spagnuolo is never going to get a head coaching job because these teams are going to go for young coaches. I think Spagnuolo is like 61, 62, somewhere around that range. No one's going to hire him as head coach, even though maybe he deserves to be a head coach. That's another argument for another day. He's never going to lead the Chiefs. As long as Andy Reid's the head coach, he will not lead the Chiefs. So another great benefit for the Chiefs. I think Steve Wilkes, is not a good defense coordinator. He took over for DeMeco Ryans, and that defense has definitely regressed, especially these playoffs. And you can probably say that they have more top-end talent than Chiefs, for sure. But as a unit, I think the Chiefs defense
Steve Wilkes was pretty good with the Panthers. It just probably hasn't clicked for whatever reason, so I'm not going to say he's not a good.
I know, but you're also seeing like lack of detail and like lack of effort from some of the 49ers players.
There's one 49ers player who there's lack of effort for.
Chase Young.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming that on anyone. I've been on.
I just said it wasn't, but I'm just saying I think.
I don't think you can mention that. That's Chase.
Like Young. If I take Kyle Shanahan versus let's do a crossover. Let's do Kyle Shanahan versus Steve Spagnuolo. Like I think that's a great match.
Shanahan. Well, Shanahan's
okay, and then Andy Reid versus Steve Wilkes. But
I
think the gap in between both of those. I think the gap between Andy Reid and Steve Wilkes is much greater than Kyle Shanahan.
Isn't that what we basically just said?
Okay, fine. Do you want to go to defense now? Because I'm actually interested in what you say on it. Okay, defense. Which deep?
I mean, again, I don't know why you're acting like I'm interested. Like, it's the defense is better. I mean, I just talked about Spags. I mean, the Chiefs' defense is better. I think that there's more top-end talent on the Niners, but they haven't overall.
I just said that too. So,
I mean, yeah, but I don't know why you asked like I would have possibly picked the Niners.
I'm just moving on.
I mean, the Chiefs' defense has been the pedestal for why they're here. The Niners has been their second half offense. So yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs' defense. I don't think that's much of a discussion.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I think the Niners have the biggest potential game record in this matchup which is Nick Bosa. I think he has the most potential out of all even though Chris Jones I think is better than Nick Bosa. Maybe not now. I don't know. That's tough. But Nick Bosa has the most potential in this game to just wreck it out of any defensive player. And then there's Fred Warner, of course, who's a stud. But Nick Bosa is the most dangerous player, but I'd still take Chiefs defense.
Yeah, I think just scheme-wise as well, I kind of trust Chiefs defense more. So totally agree with you there. But I think like Halafunga being out, I think that's been the biggest reason why.
No, yeah, they lost him. That sucked. They lost him.
Their pass defense, other than Travarius Ward, you're not a huge fan of any of those corners that they have outside of Ward.
When did he get hurt?
Halafunga, he got hurt like week 9 or week 10. It was somewhere.
I think there was definitely like a drop off once he got hurt because he was playing really well. That sucked for them.
Player, he's already a stud.
No, yeah, he was so good this year before he got hurt. That sucked for them.
And I think we'll move on to skill position. I think it's clearly in the 49ers' favor. I mean, Chiefs don't really, outside of Rice, Kelsey, and Pacheco, don't really have anybody in.
And like
49ers probably the best skill position group of skill position players in the league. So
I mean, yeah,
clearly
Rashee Rice would be the Niners' wide receiver 3 without question. I mean, honestly, would he even be their wide receiver 3? Just because of their system? No, just because of their system, Juwan Jennings would probably play more because that dude can block like a mofo.
I know, but I think we're both. I think we can say Rice is better than Juwan Jennings.
No, overall. I know, but I'm just saying. I was just something interesting. I thought in their system, he probably wouldn't even be their 3.
I'm not talking. I'm just talking about overall.
I know. I just said it was something interesting. I just thought of. Logan.
It's kind of stupid.
It's not stupid. It's an interesting thought. And then at this point, I mean, Kelsey's been great these past 2 games, but it's interesting. Who would you take right now, tight end? Like, because I trust Kittle fully in big games. I know Kelsey.
I'll still take Kelsey. I mean, I'm taking Kelsey.
Kittle can block. I love Kelsey, but he's dropped off a little, and like
Okay, but here's the thing: if you were watching football for the first time in these playoffs, and you saw Kelsey playing, you're like, man, this guy.
Well, yeah, but Kittle.
But if you, I think I would take Kelsey.
Kittle's not a guy who you see what he does every play.
The whole regular season, we saw Kelsey. Basically, his plays dropped off dramatically. In the playoffs, he's been unbelievable.
I know. I'd probably take Kelsey, but I think this is the. I know Kittle had that year where he had like 1,300, but I think it's closer now because I always thought Kelsey was better than Kittle.
Yeah, but I don't think it's closer now because Kittle's taken a huge step.
No, that's not what
Kelsey's
I'm saying.
Dropped off.
No, that's when did I say that?
Hold on, let me look at Kittle's playoff stats this year if I can find it.
But Kittle, the thing with Kittle is when Kelsey drops off, it just even magnifies Kittle's he's like the best run blocking tight end.
I mean, I don't know. Kittle last game, 3 targets, 2 catches, 27 yards.
Oh yeah, but his roles are different.
I know, but I'd still take Kelsey.
He probably contributes as a pass. Yeah, I'd take Kelsey too, but it's close.
Do you think there's a chance that because I think Kittle's cap number next year, they can move off that contract?
No.
I know they still, but they still have to pay Ayuk. I don't know if they actually choose to pay Ayuk or not. I think that's something interesting to think about.
I don't think you don't get rid of George Kittle. He's too much of the culture and a leader, and you can probably.
I didn't realize he's 30 years old. I didn't realize he's going to be 31 next year.
You can probably find some way to get rid of Eric Armstead. No, you're not. No, Kittle is such a leader.
Okay, so let's say on one, let's do a ranking system, 1 through 10. So we probably say 49ers skill position players are a 10, correct? The total group is 10. What would you rank the Chiefs?
6.5.
Okay, I was gonna say 6.
Yeah, I really I mean, I don't even know. Probably 6, not 6.5, because Pacheco's good, but he's probably not a top 10 running back. Rashee Rice is still close to the line of scrimmage.
When I watch Rashee Rice, I know we're kind of going down a different path, but when I watch Rashee Rice, his rookie year was the way he's utilized was kind of similar to how Michael Pittman was utilized with the Colts his rookie year. A lot of crossing routes. And I'm not saying
the weird thing is I don't see them as the same player.
Well, no, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying the way they were utilized was pretty similar their rookie
Well,
years.
okay, but here's the difference.
We
Here's the
saw
difference.
Pittman run a lot of drag routes. And I'm
Here's
not
the
saying that he's
difference.
better than Pittman or close, but
No,
when I
but
was
I
watching,
don't
that's
think
kind
they're
of what came to
same
mind.
stylistically. And at the same time, Pittman had 40-year-old Phillip or whatever-old Phillip. I mean, and I think we could agree he was not used right. But Rashee Rice is being used right. So I think there's a huge difference there. I think Pittman was clearly not being used as he should have. Rashee
Well, I'm not
Rice has
saying
been
that. I'm
used
just saying
exactly
when
as
I
he should have.
watch them, that's kind of both their utilizations.
No,
similar.
yeah. But one is smart, one is dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, and will Rashee Rice ever be as good as Michael Pittman? I mean, his stats may be better, but that could be because he has Patrick Mahomes.
I think there's definitely a chance he could beat. I think right. I mean, first year he almost had 1,000 yards.
Yes, but also there's a lot of throw me a screen. I have Andy Reid and I have Patrick Mahomes. Like, who's the better pure receiver? I don't know if he's.
Well, I say Pittman right now, but I think Rice can still develop into something.
Well, yeah, he's also an older receiver as a rookie, so
Yeah,
he probably doesn't have as much as the development trajectory as most. No, he's good and he will be good, but Pittman has played with like 6 different quarterbacks. Just had a fantastic year with Gardner Minshew. I think Pittman. I know we probably shouldn't be talking about Michael Pittman on Super Bowl week, but still a very underrated player in my opinion. Yep. I love Michael Pittman.
Kicker,
yeah,
this is easy.
Well, this
and
is
I think the main reason this is actually a huge storyline is because the 49ers have a rookie kicker, and Jake Moody's been pretty subpar this year.
Drafting a rookie kicker when you're a Super Bowl contender is a little bold.
No, it's also very stupid. I think we talked about this before. They had only 3 picks last year in the draft, and they were all back-to-back picks in the 3rd round. I believe it's 3rd round. They had 3 straight picks. They went kicker. I forgot what the other 2 picks were, but they didn't choose any offensive lineman. And you probably say that they needed offensive linemen more than anything.
I mean, you talk about it, but it's not like Brock Purdy ever gets massacred and stuff. I mean,
that's because of scheme.
Okay, then the scheme means you don't need as offensive linemen aren't as important in the scheme, Logan.
A run scheme is,
and they still run the ball.
Okay, of course.
But you just said because of the scheme, and now you're saying, Logan, I think they've been fine. You can miss some picks. Do you know how many hits?
I know, but taking a kicker 3rd round.
I mean, yeah, they thought they had something, and they were wrong. If he was a great kicker, then I was fine with it. It's all about Logan. Here's the thing with picks and positional value and all that, and why positional value is dumb. If Jake Moody was a stud, it was an excellent pick. It's just you say, "Oh, why did you draft a kicker?" It is. I did say it was bold because it was bold drafting a kicker in 3rd round when you're a contender. But if he was really good, it's a great pick. If he's not good, it's the same thing if you draft a running back in the 3rd round or a receiver. If he's not, or a tight end or D lineman.
I don't think Jake Moody if you didn't get him 3rd round, you're not going to get him at all.
You don't know. Kickers have been going higher lately. Andre Carlson went 5th round for the Packers or something like that, and he wasn't even that good in college. But he wasn't even that good. Moody was great in college. They thought they had a great kicker.
I think kickers in general are just kind of hard to
navigate. Yeah, but they thought they had a kicker. If you think you have a great kicker and you think he's going to be great for 5 years or 4 years for like a cheap-ass contract, then I'm fine with taking him. If you think someone's going to be great, take him. I don't care about positional value, i.e., look at the Lions, their draft picks.
I think
all were bad positional value, and they were all great.
Looking at our checklist so far, we have 4 check marks to the Chiefs and 1 to the 49ers. It's just something interesting to think about because when you entering this game, it's like 49ers definitely have more top-end talent. I mean, they have so many Hall of Famers on that team.
I think it's
this collective group. Yeah, it's a testament to what the Chiefs are.
Overall. It's all about the skill positions being a lot better than the Chiefs ones, and then everything else just being close enough.
Yes,
coaching can be close enough. Defense can be close enough. Quarterback, Purdy doesn't even in one game he can be close enough. So it's all that's how I see it. I mean, I think
the biggest gaps are quarterback and skill position in this matchup.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Purdy just needs to be good. It's a really interesting matchup. I know no one wanted it, but it's such an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's a completely different matchup than the last time these two teams played. 49ers,
No, yeah.
probably best defense in the league last time these two played. Chiefs had the best offense in the league. It hasn't flipped entirely. I'm not going to say Chiefs have the best defense in the league, but it's definitely a top. Would you say
Five.
it's probably top, not
I'm
three,
not.
top
I
five?
have to look at top 3, but top 5 for sure.
Yeah,
Top
it's
5
just
is a
like it
lot.
seems like these teams have completely. And at that point, the 49ers were older team, and the Chiefs are not old team. But I would definitely say and we'll move on right to our next topic, experience. Definitely
I mean,
more
that's
experience, I think,
yeah.
overall
That's
than
not. You don't even need to discuss that too much. The
yeah.
Chiefs have more experience, but the Niners do have vets. I mean, if you look at their skill
Oh, for sure.
positions, which is their strength, Kittle, experience, and that dude's a vet. McCaffrey's a vet. Debo's a vet. Ayuk's played in big games now. So
Ayuk's only like 24. I mean, or
yeah,
25.
he's young, but he's played in big
He's
games
really
and
good though. I mean, he's been
he's
in the league
made.
for a while now, or for a few years. I think 3 or 4 years he's been in the league now.
Is this year his is 2024,
No,
2025 his last year on
no.
contract?
Oh, 20.
Or is
Well, he was drafted in 2020, right? Or was 2020 the COVID draft? Or was that 2021?
that was
Or was he
2020.
drafted during the COVID draft? Or was he drafted?
He was with Higgins because I remember Dynasty. Yeah, he's on his 5th year next
I
year.
believe. Yeah, next year. So that's why the contract thing is kind of huge. They're gonna
They'll
extend
figure
him
out a
or-
way. I think 2025 is like 2025. If you look at them, I think they're okay on cap space, but obviously you have to figure out. Maybe
Well,
you
a lot
get
of
rid of
players. Some
Hargrave
players
at
could be
that
moving
point.
out of their primes at that point, and Trent Williams will not be there. I think because how old is Trent Williams right now? 38.
Dude, I don't care. There's people who define who he's 35.
Who do I think is 38 then? I thought Trent was like 38, but I guess he's 35.
I think Trent Williams can be great. I don't think Trent. I don't really see. It's
Well,
gonna
how
be
long
like
is he on
none
contract for? They gave him a 6-year
He-
deal.
His
Was it
cap
3 years ago?
Oh my god, he's 2027 is his last year, but that's a $3 million cap hit, so that's probably 2026. So he's 3 more years. He'll probably be really good all those years.
What's his cap hit next year?
31. They're only. Here's the thing: do they
That's
have any
not
big
terrible.
free agents?
Well, Ayuk could be a free agent.
No, but he's his 5th year.
Oh, are you saying after this season? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I thought you meant like
I-
in
like
a year or two.
I think they're guaranteed 1 more year of complete stability because they're only 3 mil over the cap, and you can mess with that in 20 different
Oh,
ways.
of course, yeah. How long do you think this window is though for 49ers?
I mean, you at least have this. You at least have next year and the year following at minimum.
Yeah, I would say 2.
Purdy's contract, but
least.
I think it's bigger than that.
Because unless you have to pay Purdy though, because I think they're going to end up paying Purdy.
What if Kyle Shanahan finds another one, Logan, and he said,
I mean, no,
Purdy.
I want to be surprised by that either, and I think that they could definitely.
As long as you have Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, you're always capable of winning the Super Bowl. That's how I view it. As long as you have those 2, you're fine.
Of course, you have if you have the foundation there, of course. But a part of that foundation is also having the quarterback. I mean, most teams that are competing for Super Bowls have their quarterback. So if they moved on from Purdy, you can't just say it's guaranteed that the next guy comes in and is good. We saw that with Trey Lance. They trade 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance, and it didn't work out. So I don't think it's a guarantee that they move on from Purdy for whatever reason. That's just going to hit. And the next quarterback's not going to have these players are not going to be around forever. People, you can say, "Oh, that
then
they
they'll just draft other people." Logan, they just drafted who? I mean, Niners. I don't know. I think you're overplaying it.
Yeah, but not every draft pick's a guarantee. You're acting like everything's a guarantee.
Yes, but they're gonna hit them. They're not gonna hit everyone, but they're gonna hit some, and that's what they do.
Okay. You want to move on to prediction?
Okay, before you go on that, but they're just gonna go find another great player, and you know what? People are gonna sign with them, Logan. It's also a free agency league. People will sign with them. They'll always continue to get more and more talent. I mean, who would have thought Fred Warner? They got him in the 5th round. They just find people because they're good at it. Great people they're great at what they do for reasons.
Okay, can I move on to prediction now?
Well, yeah, but I think you just shouldn't say ignorant things about the Niners front office and coaching.
Get your prediction.
I'm just saying, man. Just saying. Don't Don't disrespect a great franchise.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying you're acting like then you know what? Then every 49ers there's gonna be great forever. Then
No,
there's gonna
until
be great.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan leave.
Okay, so apparently in the
As I
next 30 years there's gonna or
No,
20 years
until
there's gonna
Kyle
be
Shanahan and
unstoppable.
John Lynch leave. I mean, maybe John Lynch leaves in 5 years. Then you know what? Then you got a discussion. But it's not as long as they're together. It's not a discussion, man. It's irrelevant discussion. That's what I'm saying. It's irrelevant until it happens.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant to discuss, or until
You
it
said
looks
three-
like it's about to happen.
You said 3 times. Can you make your pick?
Well, yeah, because you have to know what I'm saying, man. Fine.
I know what you're saying. You said it 3 times.
Well, yes, but you have to absorb it. Make sure that you
Oh
understand
my
it. Jeez, I feel like
Can you
you'll
make
bring
your
this up
pick?
again. Don't bring this
Can you make
up
your
again
pick?
next week. Don't bring it up.
Okay,
again.
don't pick against the Chiefs again. Let's see your prediction. You've done 2
Okay,
last
first off,
2
I
times.
pick in a fully. I pick
And
what
do
I think
too.
can happen.
Well, I believe in Chiefs.
Well, yeah, but I don't pick the Chiefs every year. You pick the Chiefs like every year. It's a difference. But into this game.
Well, so far I'm could be three out of the last 5 years. I'm correct.
Okay, man. I mean,
And we've only been doing this podcast for about 2 years, and I picked the Chiefs both years. So far,
I picked the Chiefs last year too.
I
Once
know,
it's
but
the playoffs. Congratulations. You're picking the best quarterback ever. You're a madman.
yeah, and you liked the 49ers forever. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
The
I
same
do like
argument.
49ers, but okay. Can I get on my pick? It seems like you're
Luke, the prediction has been here for about 5 minutes. You've been saying
No,
it's
I
irrelevant.
think it's been your fault. You've been
saying
delaying
said the
me.
word irrelevant about 15 times while this thing was up. But go ahead.
That's funny because of Mr. Irrelevant. That's funny. I didn't even realize I did that. But look at this game.
Your pick.
We went through the keys. We went through the edges of who has
Nice.
the edge
Yep.
in which category.
Correct.
And in this moment, I cannot pick against Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I think this is going to be a great game. I think it's truly a 50-50 one.
Are you shocked at all that the 49ers have been favored, like not opening, but even throughout this this time that this line is not? The line moved from, I believe it was 2 to 1, and now it's back to 2.5. Like, does that surprise you at all?
I think by the time it's Sunday, it'll be like minus 110 for each money line.
Because I think like recently, the Chiefs have been playing better football than the 49ers. I think you could say that. And I'm not saying by a wide margin, but I definitely think you could say overall they've been playing better.
I'm fine
that's
with
That's why it's kind of surprised. That's why it surprised me.
I mean, I think it's 50-50, so I'm not gonna. I know Vegas is probably praying for a Niner. I assume most people are betting Chiefs. I haven't actually looked at the numbers, but I just guess.
Seems like a lot of people are betting Chiefs just because. I mean, once they beat the Ravens, like okay. I don't think you pick because people picked against the Chiefs the last 2 rounds, and now they're like.
No, I'd like to see the Vegas numbers on money lines. I don't have them in front of me, but I mean, experts are picking experts, analysts, all that are picking Chiefs, but we don't know what the actual bettors are doing. But yeah, I got Chiefs because of what we discussed. I think in the end, I think Niners will give a hell of a fight. I think it'll be a similar game to what it was 2020. But I think the Chiefs defense is a little better, which is big. And I think Mahomes is even better. And I think the run game's better. And so I have Chiefs winning 24-23, right below the over-under. Chiefs 24-23. It'll be a good game. I think in the end, Mahomes can do it. I mean, he's been so good. I think Purdy's going to give a fight, but I think he'll probably have an error too.
Yeah, I
you got to pick Chiefs. I mean, you don't have to, but I got to, and that's how I view it from a totally honest perspective. But I'm excited.
An interesting thing, the Chiefs, every Super Bowl they've been in, they've trailed at halftime, which I've always found I think each game they've trailed by double digits at halftime. So it's been interesting. I think Chiefs win this one. Very similar score. I have 24-20. So it probably should have been the score of the last Super Bowl if Damian Williams doesn't run in that touchdown and just goes down. So I think it's 24-20. I think if it comes down to a field goal here or there, I definitely think Jake Moody's going to miss a key field goal in this game. I think it's actually what this game kind of comes down to at the end. It's like, man, if he made that field goal, 49ers probably don't need a touchdown.
That could be huge, yeah.
Last drive. But like you said, Chiefs defense, I'm trusting them. Mahomes, he's not turning the ball. what I love about the Chiefs is that they're actually the biggest criticism of Andy Reid is that sometimes he falls in love with his passing game, like we mentioned with Kyle Shanahan earlier, and he doesn't run the ball. The Chiefs now know who they are, and they're going to lean on this run game. Pacheco, I think, is going to get 18, 19 carries in this game, and if they can find success with that, I think it's going to be a long day for his 49ers defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't see Chiefs allowing more than – I don't think it's going to be like a 31-27 game. I do not see Chiefs allowing more than 21 points.
I really want Pacheco to win Super Bowl MVP.
Well, yeah, you got money on it.
You have no idea, people. Well, you do, but I want him to win Super Bowl MVP.
Let's just say Luke has a $1 bet that can make him hundreds of dollars. I'm just saying hundreds. No, nobody's gonna go to your house and rob you.
That would not be cool.
They can't even rob you. It would be in your account.
Not the point.
It's not like you have a lottery ticket for millions of dollars.
Not the point.
Just $100.
Go Pacheco.
What are his odds on at now for MVP?
I mean, there's still not a lot. I mean, let's look real quick. I can't find it. Where's Super Bowl MVP odds? I feel like I'm being an idiot. I am being an idiot. I can't find it. What is going on?
The thing that's unfortunate about the MVPs, it's just a quarterback award.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's been
like last Super Bowl.
Edelman.
I'm not saying Mahomes played bad because he just have Mahomes. The last game, Chiefs barely had the ball, but like
yeah, it's hard to
21-27 for like I don't think he even threw 200 yards.
It was hard to pick a Super MVP, and he wasn't even great in the first one. I don't know why I can't find it. I think I'm dumb, but he's probably like plus a lot. Oh, here is this it? He is plus 3,000.
Okay, but yeah, so this is the first time in weeks where we both have the Chiefs. It's kind of a miracle. We both have the Chiefs winning.
Indeed.
And you are finally believing.
Oh, stop it!
Team.
Stop it!
Stop what? Believing? I've been believing all year. I've been believing all year.
Okay, man. Okay. Go. Hey, I just want Chiefs to win.
Yeah. Anything you want to add before we end today's episode and head into Super Bowl weekend?
I don't think so. I know it's not NFL, but I'm excited for the trade deadline tomorrow. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited. Threw $10 on D'Angelo Russell staying with the Lakers just to win 12. It's not much at all, but that should be fun.
Yep. I'm just fully focused on Super Bowl right now. Not much else.
Well, yeah, but you know what happens? Your week feels longer because you're just thinking about Super Bowl. I'm thinking about the trade deadline.
Well, I'm also watching
basketball. But it's already a Wednesday, and I'm thinking D'Lo. I'm thinking Bogdanovich's. I'm thinking DeJounte Murray. I'm going to mix that up, man.
All right. Well, before we start yelling at each other anymore, or Luke tells me something's irrelevant.
Or Logan says something stupid that's not thought out.
We're going to end today's episode because it's already starting.
Hey, so, go Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
Yep, go Chiefs. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. We also have a link on our YouTube to our Spotify as well. So also give a follow on Spotify. But until then, go Chiefs. Hopefully next week, both of us will be happy with the Chiefs victory and back-to-back Super Bowls for the first time since the 2003-2004 Patriots. But until then, see you guys.
Peace.